When we think about financial goals, our minds often jump to these massive, kind of intimidating numbers. But what if I told you there's one totally achievable amount that could completely change your entire relationship with money? Today, we're going to talk about the savings milestone that changes everything, not just in your bank account, but more importantly, inside your head. Does this sound familiar? I think it does for a lot of us. It's that 3 a.m. anxiety spiral. Your car might break down, you could get laid off, the dog gets sick. Suddenly, every little possibility feels like a complete catastrophe just waiting to happen. Man, it's just an exhausting way to live, right?
But what if there was a specific dollar amount, one number, that could just quiet almost all of that noise? A number that acts like a shield, giving you the peace of mind to finally get a good night's sleep.
Okay, so before we even get to that magic number, let's talk about life at ground zero, the world of no savings. It's a place of just constant stress, where all your mental energy is being drained by this endless stream of tiny financial decisions. This slide, it just nails it, right? This is decision fatigue in a nutshell. When you've got zero savings, every single choice is this draining calculation. The grocery store becomes a minefield of, can I afford this? A dinner invitation actually causes anxiety. And that check engine light, oh man, that feels like a countdown to financial ruin. Every one of those little decisions just burns up your precious mental bandwidth. And there's a name for this. It's called survival mode. Your brain literally can't think about long-term goals or opportunities because it is completely bogged down by putting out fires right in front of you. It's like trying to plan your dream vacation while your house is on fire. It's impossible. You're just reacting. You're not planning. Okay, but this is where the whole story flips. This is the first major threshold. And it isn't about buying fancy stuff. The most incredible transformation happens right inside your head. And for most of us, that first real game changer, it's $10,000. Why that number? Because it's the amount that can cover the vast majority of those unexpected curveballs that derail people financially. The car repairs, the medical bills, the family emergencies. It's your first real safety net. And this gets us to a really, really important idea, the emergency fund effect. See, the real power of this money isn't actually in spending it, not at all. It's in the deep sense of security you feel just from knowing it exists. It's a buffer between you and the chaos of the world. So remember that check engine light that felt like the end of the world? Now it's just annoying, an annoying inconvenience. A surprise medical bill? It's manageable. And losing your job? That goes from being a catastrophe to something you can actually survive, giving you months of breathing room to find the right next job, not just the first one that comes along. And get this isn't just you feeling better, it's actual science. Neuroscientists have found that having financial security literally reduces the levels of cortisol. That's your body's main stress hormone. And what does that mean? It means better sleep, more patience, and clearer, more rational decisions in every single part of your life. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Because the struggle, the grind to save that first $10,000, it does something incredible. It forges a new identity for you. You stop thinking of saving as some temporary diet, and you start seeing yourself as a saver. And that identity shift, it makes every single financial decision from that point on so much easier. All right, so if that first milestone was all about your mindset, the next one, well, that's where the math starts to get really fun. This is where you stop playing defense and you finally start playing offense with your money. I want you to think about it like this. Saving that first big chunk of cash is like pushing a giant boulder up a really steep hill. It's this sweaty, grueling, super slow process where half the time you're wondering if you're even making any progress at all. But then, once you hit that $20,000 peak, boom, something magical starts to happen. As this timeline shows, saving your first $20,000 might take you, say, 19 months. But the next $20,000, it only takes 17. Why? Because now your money is working right alongside you. And if you fast forward, going from 400 grand to 420 grand can happen in just 5 months, mostly from your investments growing. That boulder is now rolling downhill and it's picking up speed all on its own. This chart right here, it shows you exactly how that magic works. In the beginning, your wealth is built almost entirely from you saving your own money. But as that balance grows, your investment returns start to do more and more of the heavy lifting. Your money starts making its own money. So, what does all this momentum get you? It unlocks this final, incredible shift in how you see everything. You move out of that world defined by survival and scarcity, and you enter a new world defined by choice and opportunity. And that brings us to, honestly, one of my favorite ideas in all of finance: walking away money. This isn't about being reckless. It's about having the freedom to walk away from a bad job, a toxic boss, or an underpaid role because you are no longer dependent on that next paycheck. It is the ultimate form of power in your career. And think about what that kind of power actually does for you. It opens up so many doors. You can confidently go in and ask for that raise you know you deserve. You can push back on unreasonable demands at work. You can invest in a course to level up your skills. You can explore a side business without the fear of it failing. You start making all of your moves from a position of strength and confidence, not weakness and desperation. Look, at the end of the day, the most important thing to remember is this: hitting these milestones is about so much more than the number in your account. It's about the person you become in the process. You prove to yourself, maybe for the very first time, that you are in control of your financial destiny. So let's leave it with this thought: that first big chunk of savings isn't the finish line. It's not just a cushion to protect you if you fall. No, it's the solid ground you can use to launch yourself toward the life you actually want to build. So the only question left is, where are you going to go?